Welcome in. Happy game day. This is the Everything Buckeye Nation show. I'm your host, Jake Smith. With me, as always, that's Corey Boyd. Corey, some strange technical difficulties going on here, but still a beautiful Saturday morning. Big game tonight. How are you feeling?
Feeling good. 10:13 a.m. The powers that be, are trying to get at us, but it is what it is. We got to roll 7:30. Nebraska in the mist, as you said later. Rain may be coming down. Even more for my Dobbins take. Time to eat. Let's roll. Shout out to everybody who's watching. Laura, Clyde, Brian in the comment section. It's time to have some fun. Let's go.
A lot of supporters in the building. Appreciate you guys. We are also over on YouTube, so we'll be hopefully getting some more action on YouTube as well. For those of you watching from home, let us know where you're watching from. On the road, are you going to the game? Let us know how you're feeling about tonight. Ohio State takes on Nebraska, 7:30. ABC College Game Day is there right now. Now, I haven't watched College Game Day all year. I'm not sure I watched any of it last year. Not really a big fan of Game Day, so we're glad you've joined us. This is the Game Day show you've been looking for. So, with that being said, appreciate everyone in the comments. Yeah, Clyde, Cheryl, Laura BP, what's up? Appreciate you guys. Brian McGee. I'm excited tonight, man. I'm really excited. I think it's going to be really our first true road test. Best team we faced all year up to this point. I think Nebraska's a hair better than Indiana, Cincinnati, probably those two programs. And it's a road environment. It's going to be crazy there tonight. So I think we're going to learn a lot about this team tonight. I'm excited to see how it goes. Excited to see how we do. And if it's, we haven't played in the rain yet this year. So, hey, that could be a new challenge. We need to see a little bit of adversity, I think, because it's been just about a cakewalk for the first 4 weeks. So I'm not asking for it to be too close now. But I do think we'll go through some adversity tonight. Ruckus crowd, explosive offense for Nebraska. So I'm looking forward to it. See what this team is made of.
Yeah, we got the Perfect 10 Sports Show on YouTube. Says, good morning, everyone. Go Bucks. Watch the Texas LSU game day only for the Undertaker parts. Hey, Undertaker in the building.
I didn't know the Undertaker was on that show. I'd be watching that too.
Right. I wonder if he's in full gear.
Does he does he even go up on stage? Would he speak? Probably not. I mean, I don't know. That's interesting, though. I'll have to go back and find that. Perfect 10. Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate you. Chris Hersey is in the building, says 38-17. Visiting his daughter in Denver. Going to a Ohio State bar in Denver. That sounds pretty sweet, Chris. And Brian agrees with you, Corey. Expect a big game from J.K. Dobbins, especially if it's raining, man. J.K. has destroyed Nebraska over the last 2 years, and I think he's primed for a big game tonight. What was your and we can do score predictions and bowl predictions later on, but
I didn't write it down, but I believe I said something around 173 yards and two total touchdowns or three, somewhere in that area, but 173 yards I know for a fact. As I said, for J.K. Dobbins. He didn't have a big game last game because they didn't need him. They didn't need him at all. When you stop a game because of the weather, listen, it's just time to end it. They didn't need him at all. Every time he has a subpar game, looks like it, he breaks off a big game. Prime time, he likes to show up. And then on the road, like he's just a monster usually. So I remember the TCU game, he was running over cats. Indiana, he broke out this year. Hey, I expect big things from JK today, especially if it rains a little bit.
Ooh.
And Justin Fields is making it that much easier for him because he's a running threat. They have to worry about him. JK's like, thank you very much. And as much as I love Haskins wasn't a running threat. So they all boxed up to stop him. But I expect a real big game from JK today.
Yeah, man, I think they lean on him. especially, I mean, he's a veteran, man. He's been in this position for over 2 years now. It's his third year, and we can lean on him. He's the feature back. I think Master Teague will be ready to step up, but you don't necessarily, I don't think he's really played in this sort of environment before. So, and Justin Fields hasn't either. So I think early on we'll try and get Justin Fields some easy throws to get the ball out of his hands quick. But we're going to lean on JK tonight, man. He's going to have 20, 25 carries, and I'm A-okay with that because Nebraska's defense is not very good. But their offense is pretty, I don't want to say pretty great because it's not there yet, but it is really good. It's an above average offense, no doubt. Adrian Martinez is great, and Scott Frost is a hell of a coach. So that is normally a good combination for an offense. And if we ride JK and we keep the ball away from Nebraska, I don't think they're going to be able to stop us when we are on offense. Their defense is not good. I'll tell you, you want to know how bad their defense is, Corey? They're ranked what Ohio State ranked at defense at the end of last year.
Oh, woo!
So
that should give you all the confidence in the world right there.
That's all you need. So I think Ohio State, I mean, there's no way Nebraska holds Ohio State to under 40 points unless we turn the ball over 3 or 4 times. Hell, we turned the ball over 4 times in a national championship game 5 years ago and still scored 42 points. I mean, it's a distinct possibility Ohio State could put up another 50-point game tonight. And I just don't think Nebraska's offense will be able to keep up, especially if we ride J.K. Dobbins to keep the ball away from him.
Yeah, and that's been our calling card. No turnovers. We've had turnovers, but our quarterback, knocking on wood here, is not making mistakes. That's what you want. The only mistake you can say he made was when he got the safety, held the ball a little too long on the drop back, got the safety against Miami, made it, 5-0, and we all know what happened after that. But he's not making mistakes. Sometimes he's taking unneeded sacks, but you don't turn the ball over. Make the punt your friend. We all don't like the punt, but if you don't turn the ball over the way this defense is playing, there's no reason why we shouldn't beat this team, but it is our toughest test at night. I do want to see some adversity, like you said, not too much where our heart is hurting and we're like, oh my goodness, what's going to happen? Because everything's not going to be perfect and rosy all year long. And I don't want adversity to happen for the first time against that one team whose fans are just delusional. And I'm not even going to say their name because you probably know who I'm talking about at this point. It's always their year every single year. I don't want it to get to that point where we have our first time of adversity. So hopefully we'll see a little bit of that tonight. Maybe like, oh my God, a 3rd and long, what do we do? Something like that, but I'm ready to roll.
Few of the people in the comments here, appreciate you guys. Josh Robideau, Brian Hudson. Josh says JK just needs to drop the wet ball. I agree with that. Lee Travis in here, appreciate you. He wants to see more of Jamison Williams and Garrett Wilson, the true freshman wide receivers. Balled out last week. I mean, Jamison Williams was compared to Ted Ginn Jr. coming out of high school for that track speed. I mean, he just took that little 10-yard in route, turned around, he planted his foot in the ground and was gone, man. I mean, nobody was catching him. Excited about the young group of wide receivers. But also something I wanted to get to about the game tonight, listening to the radio, reading some Nebraska news from their point of view. They have a very, very poor kicking game. Their starting kicker got hurt in the offseason or in camp or something like that, and they won't say what happened, but he's hurt, and the backup kicker is hurt. So they don't have a kicking game. They're talking about if it's 4th and 8 from the 20-yard line going in, they're going to go for it because they can't kick a 37-yard field goal, especially if it's raining. They're talking about maybe going for 2 on every touchdown they score, which I hope is not a lot. But look out for that. That could be a major turning point in the game tonight. If it's 4th and 5, inside the red zone or something, and they're going for it in a close game because they don't trust their field goal kicker. So watch out for that. And if they do bring the field goal unit on, Chase Young will probably block it.
The Perfect 10 Sports Show on YouTube says that The Undertaker did give his prediction. And a couple of firsts that he predicts is Field throws his first interception, his first true turnover, and he throws for an average of 223 yards, and the special teams get their first TD, but he's wrong on his first prediction of Fields throwing an INT.
I hope he's wrong too, but I wouldn't be surprised to see it. Ryan Day's doing a fantastic job of play calling and making it easy for Fields. You don't need the guy to go out. It's funny, he is so good, Corey. Fields is so good, but we don't need him to be elite to win a ball game tonight, or really any game on our schedule. As long as he just doesn't turn the ball over and plays smart, we've got the talent around to just roll to pretty much 12 wins. And Ryan Day's doing a great job making it easy on him. He's not sending Justin Fields out there like, go win the ball game for us. But Fields is a product of Ryan Day's offense. He's making it easy on him, and tonight is going to be his first test, and he might, want to make a big splash early in the game, make kind of an errant throw. He's been overthrowing more than underthrowing, and I think that's a good thing. Before Haskins, we had some serious issues with arm talent, throw power, and that sort of thing. So I like the fact that this kid can sling the ball 65 yards with ease. But he has been a little prone to overthrows, so that could be something you see tonight. He tries to throw a slant or an in route, and the safety gets a piece of it over the back. But I don't know, man. I'm excited to see Justin Fields because he hasn't been in this spot yet as a starting quarterback. I mean, all eyes are going to be on him tonight, which is why I think we see, like you said, heavy dose of J.K. Dobbins. And, hey, maybe Master Teague has a breakout game too. Maybe we just find that they can't stop the run. Their defensive line is pretty solid, but their defense ranks like 76th in the country. Their pass defense isn't very good. They've got a young secondary that's been tested. Illinois put up 38 points on them last week, Corey. I'm thinking Ohio State can do just that, if not far more, on that defense.
I agree with you. I got a couple comments I wanted to get to. Shout out to Brian, a supporter. He said he just wants them to continue playing clean and disciplined. Tisha says, hi, guys. Laura says, please like, share, and subscribe on the YouTube channel and support the show. These guys deserve it. Hey, thanks for the love. And on YouTube, Travis says, we're going to learn how good we truly are tonight. Tonight is the night we know where we stand and what we are capable of.
It's a great comment, Travis. Appreciate that. Appreciate you, Laura and Mom, everybody in the comments section. Tonight is the first night of a 4-game stretch. First game of a 4-game stretch where we're going to find out what this team is made of. All right. We talked about this all off season. Basically, the preseason is over. All right. Now we're getting into the thick of Big Ten play. And do I mean thick? Because we're at Nebraska tonight. Michigan State Spartans come to play under the lights in the shoe next Saturday night, which is always kind of spooky. Then we get a bye week, much deserved bye week, but then we're at Northwestern on a Friday night. Oh, God, I don't like the sound of that. And the week after that, the Wisconsin Badgers are coming to town, to the shoe. No time yet on that, but 3 straight night games against 3 tough Big Ten opponents, and it starts tonight. We've rolled through. We've taken a nice, easy stroll through the first 4 games of the schedule, but I'm thinking at about midnight tonight, when this game's over, or a little before that, we're either going to be feeling really, really good about ourselves or start to see some doubt creep in it. And that's the thing. Maybe I want to hear your take on this, Corey, because I was talking about this yesterday at work. Somebody asked me about what I think about this team, and we've looked really good early in the season in years past, but there's still been a weakness or something I don't like. Something that kind of feels weird about this team, like how we gave up 31 points to Oregon State last year. who was coming off a 1-11 season. Our defense was really worrisome the first 4 weeks of the season while our offense looked great. There's that little doubt there that I'm like, oh, this could come back to haunt us, and well, it did. But I don't feel that this year. I don't feel, I can't pinpoint any sort of weakness, not even a position group. I don't know. What do you think about it?
Right now, I think I said it a week ago, I'm not going to be too confident yet. I understand what you're saying. We look good, but I'm not going to beat my chest just yet until I see these next games, because I'm just going to hold it. I don't see true weaknesses now. There's a couple plays where the defensive backs don't turn their head. You're going to have that. I still think our linebackers aren't athletic enough at points, Tough Borland running around. But still, the defense is so much more improved. This time last year, like a game against Miami of Ohio, it wouldn't have been 76-5. It just wouldn't have been. They would have at least probably got 20 points, something around there. So they're vastly improved. I still think our linebackers will be more athletic. But other than that, but I'm not going to beat my chest yet because I have to see these games. Now, in these next games, if we're dominating, then I'm going to walk around and say, what y'all want? Let's go. But I want to see how we look. There's a couple comments that I wanted to get to. Brian Hudson, he asked a good question on Facebook. He said, do you guys think we need a stronger schedule? I'm not going to say we. I want college football in a whole to have a stronger schedule. I'm tired of these cupcake with icing on top schedules. All right, Alabama versus Cotton Bowl City of Utah State Grass Seed College. What? Who is that? All right, I want college football of a whole to have a stronger schedule. Me and my cousin was talking about this, and my brother, we're sick of these games. What's the point? Even us, we play Miami of Ohio. For what? Who cares? I don't care if they need money for their university. Find it another way. All right? Let's all have stronger schedules in college football, not just Ohio State, Alabama, Clemson. Clemson don't play nobody for the rest of the year. Just book them in the playoffs. Who cares? Their schedule's so cupcake, it doesn't matter. Lawrence can throw 20 picks and 10 touchdowns, and they'll still get to the college football playoff because they don't play anybody. Everybody says Ohio State's schedule's weak. Well, is there anybody else's schedule that's strong? No. So I want college football as a whole to have a stronger schedule. To answer Brian's question, I would like all of us to have a stronger schedule. I just want to see Alabama travel to Penn State. Not saying Penn State's great, but it's a better team than who they play.
I tell you what, Penn State looks pretty damn good.
Yeah, better than Mississippi State of Hulu Bowl or whoever Alabama plays. I don't care. It just gets on my nerves. He got me going. It's tacky. I don't want to play Miami of Ohio. I don't want to play none of these teams. I understand you got to make the money. It has to make it work. I understand TCU backed out last year, but to me, our schedule is tougher than Alabama's, tougher than Clemson's, but I just want college football as a whole to do something to make these schedules better.
I couldn't have said it better myself, man. It's so frustrating, especially when you get to the last couple weeks of the season and certain conferences like the SEC who don't play 9 conference games like the Big Ten does. You get that added non-conference, tune-up, cupcake, whatever you want to call it, in the week before rivalry week. It's week 13. Ohio State's got to play Penn State in the second to last week of the season this year before taking on the Wolverines. I mean, that's crazy how that happened on the schedule. But Alabama's got, what, Western Kentucky or Western Carolina? It's something like...
Western Carolina. Exactly, Western Carolina. Beautiful. What a game.
They played the Citadel last year.
We can go suit up and get a yard, and we shouldn't be able to. I shouldn't be able to. I ain't played football in years. I bet I should get a yard, but I bet you I could. That's terrible. The Perfect 10 says the 38 points from Illinois was a little bit of a smoke screen over on YouTube because it mostly came off turnovers, which we did talk about that this week. He does have a good point. He says, don't look at that 38 number too closely.
That's fair. I can't remember his name. I know he was on Facebook as well,
the Perfect 10 Sports Show on YouTube.
I know it's Perfect 10 Sports Show, but he commented on Facebook the other day too, and I can't remember his regular name. But it's a great point. Illinois got the ball inside of Nebraska's 10-yard line twice, thanks to turnovers. And I mean, you're going to be able to score some points if that's the case. Now,
it's Travis Napper is his name.
Travis, that's right. Appreciate you, man. And great question or great comment, because you're right. 38 points looks like a lot, but when you get two presents like that inside the 10, they cashed in. They did what they were supposed to do with it. But to that point as well, if Illinois' defense can force 5 Nebraska turnovers, I mean, Chase Young's got to be salivating right now, dude. Especially if it's going to be raining. Adrian Martinez, not the biggest guy, probably not going to be able to. He's turnover prone as it is. So when you get an environment like tonight where an Ohio State defensive line, Jonathan Cooper's back, by the way. We didn't know that on our show Tuesday, but Jonathan Cooper, former 5-star defensive end from Gahanna, Ohio, a local kid. He hasn't played all season, but he's back, cleared, ready to go. He's going to be fired up because this was supposed to be his breakout year. He gets a chance to start. It's his, live up to his potential. And then he's got to miss the first 4 games due to injury. Dude is going to be fired up. And you got Chase Young on the other side. Robert Landers is back from injury. I mean, good God, man. Taylor Martinez. They used to have Taylor Martinez. Adrian Martinez. How many Martinez quarterbacks have they had at Nebraska, man? But Adrian Martinez, I mean, it's going to be rainy. The defensive line is hungry, and it's going to be the best defensive line he'll face all year. He's going to have to make quicker decisions. I mean, there's going to be a few turnovers. I would bank on at least 2 turnovers, probably 3, maybe more. I mean, if Illinois forced 5, who knows? Maybe we get a pick 6, maybe a scoop and score, Chase Young strip sack. Did you hear what they were talking about this week in practice, Corey, about the strip sacks?
No.
I think it was Davon Hamilton was talking about it. And he said that sacks are great, but Larry Johnson's got him working on strip sacks. Go for the ball. When you get close to the quarterback, just go for the ball. Because it counts as a sack, and that's a far bigger play than just a sack. And I don't want to say just a sack as if it's not a big deal. But a lot of times, especially this year, our defensive line has had 2 or 3 guys there. It's not just one guy. So go for the ball, and you can see it in Chase Young's 2 strip sacks last week. He got to the quarterback and could have just completely taken him down, but instead he's swatting at the ball both times. Both times they come out. That's a freak of nature coming at you. They're hunting strip sacks. And I think that's pretty cool because I haven't really heard of that.
Yeah, that's good coaching. Chase Young coming at me, I'm just fumbling regardless. You ain't got to hunt at me. I just dropped the ball. I'm running away. Man, get away from me. Corey Shoemaker says, yo, what's up, sports fans?
What's up,
Corey? Brian McGee said, my guy Brian, I'm still worried about the pass defense. He does make a good point. I think I'm always going to be worried about the pass defense. I don't know if your pass defense is always just, please pass on us, at Ohio State at least. So I do agree with him with that. Even though Damon Arnett is playing better. I get David Arquette, whatever.
I know. I do the same thing.
I do it every time. His name is Damon, my bad. Damon Arnett is playing better. The Perfect 10 on YouTube says another Arnett pick 6.
Oh, no.
We'll have to ask our resident supporter, Clyde, on that one. He is the pick 6 expert. He calls them. We just listen to him. So we'll see about that. Man, it's going to be a fun game, man. It's going to be fun. I want to see some strip sacks. Thanks for talking about that. That is smart. Why not go for the ball, especially when they're not looking? If the quarterback doesn't see it, don't just wrap them up. Because first of all, if you hit them too hard, it's a flag. you blow in their ear, you might get thrown out the game. So just go for the ball. They'll be like, hey, he was going for the ball. We can't throw the flag. And listen, if Chase Young is coming at you, it's a fumble anyways. I mean, the man's a monster. He is on a mission. He has 7.5 sacks, should be 11. They're taking stats away from him just so he doesn't break all the records. He's been a beast. We called it at the beginning of the year. He's a man on a mission. I think it's a little bit of, you know what? You talking about Nick Bosa last year. Nobody wants to talk about me. I'm going to show you how great I am, and he's doing it. He's a predator. He's a monster. He's a beast. I want to see strip sacks, fumbles. I want Martinez just to fall when he runs in his direction. I cannot wait.
Great point, and I want to get right back to that after a few comments here. Our guy Corey Shoemaker, David Hempel says, it's game day, go Bucks. Jake and Corey, you guys do a great job. Love watching you guys. Appreciate that, David, man. You're the best.
Appreciate that.
Laura says, you guys are awesome. And then Laura BP says, Jake, are you running again? Clyde says he can't call the Arnett pick 6 this time. I think Clyde's right. He's got to play it safe. That's probably the biggest bold prediction that hit all year. We're gonna go back. We're gonna go back after the Big Ten championship game and look back on this year and think, what was the biggest bold prediction? And it's gonna be that one. I'm gonna remember that. I'm gonna remember that for the rest of my life.
You hang up your bold prediction jersey on that one. I'm not. It's just hang it up.
It's going in the rafters. Retire the number. I tell you, man. Hey, Carrie. Appreciate you joining the show. Clyde says he's not feeling the pick 6. He hopes he's wrong. We will see. But back to the Chase Young comment, and he wants. I really like what you said, that last year, even without Nick Bosa, everybody was talking about Nick Bosa. Mm-hmm. And why is this team not good enough on defense because of Nick Bosa? Like, well, clearly we would have liked to have had him. But, right. Yeah, maybe Chase Young's got a little bit of fire to him. He does have 7 sacks through 4 games, which puts him on pace for 21 sacks. He should be, like you said, probably about 11. And I'm not sure how they got 1.5 sacks out of each of the first 2 games, because he looked like he had about 3 apiece.
Right.
So I really don't understand that. But here's what I do understand. This is not a great weekend for college football. There's not a ton of great games on this week. So tonight, Saturday night, what's everybody going to be doing? Flipping through channels. Ohio State at Nebraska. This is our first real shot to show the world what we are made of. And that can turn into exciting, dare I say, Heisman moments for these kids. Justin Fields, J.K. Dobbins, hell, Chase Young. If they put up a ridiculous showing tonight on national television, a couple big-time plays that makes everybody go, wow, in the country, because I don't think a lot of people outside of Ohio have watched Ohio State, like fans-wise. Like, we're getting a lot of love from the national analysts, maybe because the Wolverines suck. Who could have predicted that?
Yeah, I don't want it neither. I don't want the love. You stick with, no flip-flopping. Stick your pick, all right? Don't give us no love. We still have, what was it, 8%? Is that what they gave us? Was it 8%, something like that?
Something like that.
Keep that same energy. Don't be like, oh, we love Justin. Nope. I don't want it. I don't want your love. Keep your love somewhere else. Stay on the team up north. They're going to come back. I feel it. Don't flip-flop over here now. Don't want it. Don't need it. Keep it. Let us stay underdogs. Let us keep playing in that role, and we'll be good.
I tell you, man, I would much prefer the underdog role. Hell, on that graphic that gave Ohio State 8% from ESPN's FPI, whatever, Football Power Index, they had Wisconsin at 1%. I mean, good God, man. How wrong could you be? They've got, I'm sure Wisconsin has that on every wall in their locker room and facilities. But it's a great night to show the world who we are. Ohio State puts out those game day trailers every Thursday to get people pumped up for the game, little 2-minute videos or whatnot. Well, this week's is the best yet this season. Very, very cool. And it starts out with Ryan Day addressing the team and saying, it's time to show the whole country what we already know in this room. And I was like, damn.
Right.
I was fired up, man. And he's right, because we've played 4 games now, 3 nooners and a 3:30 on Big Ten Network against Miami, Ohio. Now, all the focus is on us. National television. Everybody around the country is like, all right, are they actually good? Everyone's going to be tuning in, hoping that Scott Frost is going to get the better of Ryan Day, and that Ohio State's going to lose on the road on their, under their first-year head coach. I just don't see it happening. I tell you what, man, I love Ryan Day, man. Whew, even Scott Frost said it this week. He said there's no question their program is in a much better spot this year than it was at this time last year. Mm-hmm. And, Scott Frost played us last year in Ohio Stadium. Hell, they almost beat us. It was like 36-31 in the shoe. We wore our blackout uniforms for a noon kick. It was like, it all just kind of seemed strange. That was a weird stretch of last year, man. That was weird. We were like winning by like 15 against like Indiana and Minnesota, Nebraska. They were all keeping it real ugly and close, and it was a weird stretch. And now it's like, this train is moving, man. I don't know if it's just Ryan Day, but since Urban left and Ryan Day took over, everything, to one of our supporters' points earlier, were a lot cleaner. Way fewer penalties, way fewer turnovers. It's just far more efficient. I mean, the job he's done is incredible, and I think he shows that tonight on the national stage. Sorry, Scott Frost.
I hope you're right. I do agree with a comment that Carrie made. She said that they won't give us any love regardless, and she's right. If we beat the brakes off Nebraska tonight, the haters will come out, oh, they're not ranked. They're not even ranked. It's Nebraska. So what? Who cares? If it's close, oh my God. Nebraska, you kept it close and you want to be a powerhouse? Oh, so you're going to have that hate. It's going to be, in that regard, it's probably a lose-lose situation because, unless it's Clemson or somebody, they will get love. Oh, you see what they just did to Nebraska? So she's right on that point of it. I do agree. We're not going to get the love as far as that goes. But I do agree with the whole part of Ryan Day. And I told you this from week 1. Listen, we go under center. Like, I cannot stress that enough. I say it every week, and I will keep saying it. You go under center, it's a whole new dynamic that the defense has to worry about. The play action actually works better when the quarterback is turned around because you don't know where is that ball actually at. Like, they have to scheme for something totally different. A 3rd and 1 actually could be a QB sneak from under center. You don't have to run 5 yards to get 1. I mean, just the way he has the offense going. Listen, man. Now, I'm not saying, oh, he's the greatest coach in the world. I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying he has made this offense more diverse. They look great. And you know what? He could have a chip on his shoulder, too. We never talked about that. He could be like, oh, khaki pants. And that team up north is, so we're just chopped liver? Watch this. So Ryan Day could be coaching with a chip on his shoulder as well because nobody talks about Ryan Day and he's just a nobody and the team up north and all this and that. So I don't think people have talked about that enough as well. He's probably coaching with a chip on his shoulder to get his name with the other big coaching names up in the ranks.
Yeah, man. He's like the next in line of, and it's funny because we kind of took the mold from Oklahoma. Oklahoma was pretty damn good under Bob Stoops, and he was there forever and won a crazy amount of Big 12 championships, and then retired kind of surprisingly, and they kept everything in the program the exact same and just promoted the young, bright offensive coordinator who's a great leader, a great coach. They just gave him the reins and said, here, you're driving now. And Ohio State did the same exact thing with Urban Meyer and Ryan Day. And a few of the comments in here, Tisha says, I loved our team last year when Ryan Day was the coach. I tell you what, that was a hell of a team. And then we come back and struggle with Tulane and Nebraska and Minnesota. Something else. Brian McGee says they are vastly more disciplined. Brian was he made the point earlier that we're so much cleaner, more efficient, less penalties. So I want to give you the credit there, Brian. Waylon Tyler J says it's a completely revamped defense. Hate to say it, but the team played its best through the first 3 games under Day last season. It's it's probably hard for Urban Meyer to coach last season and run an elite program, which he still did, but under all that scrutiny and all that BS for getting suspended 3 games for, I don't want to go back down that long track, but
yeah,
Ryan Day comes in with an opportunity to show the world, hey, I'm a hell of a coach. I can run a great program. Scott Ewing said, I love what Urban Meyer has brought to this university, but Day is bringing it to a whole other level. He has that fire that Meyer used to have. He does, man. He's young. He's hungry. He wants to be great. And that's exciting because he runs a hell of a program, a hell of an offense, and recruiting certainly has not taken a downturn since Urban Meyer left, which we were a little worried about. We were saying Ryan Day's got to prove it on the field. If he can prove it this year on the field, we shouldn't really take a step back in recruiting. He was recruiting well before the season, over the summer, and now into the season. We haven't seen a whole lot because we focus on the season here, and kids are focusing on their seasons, but we said he's got to show it on the field. If we can show that we haven't missed a beat and we're still a national brand, kids are still going to want to come here, and he's doing a hell of a job. And tonight is really the next step in showing the world, hey, did you forget about the Ohio State Buckeyes?
Exactly. I'm with you. Got a couple on YouTube that I got to get to. Travis says, will you run around the house if Wilson scores? The Perfect 10 says Chase Young is a monster, but he wants to see how Baron Browning plays in this game, trying to lock down Martinez and keep him contained. And he also says Wilson will haunt that predictor's dreams.
No, I'm not going to run around the house tonight. I have I've got a couple of friends coming over, and just not going to do that tonight. But maybe some other time this year. And yeah, I don't know. I'm sorry. Laura says we all want Jake to run. I probably should go for a run. I didn't get to the gym this week, but I was pretty good before then. I cut the grass, though. That counts, right? It's not a self-propelled mower, so I got to push it, so that counts. But yeah, Garrett Wilson, tonight, I don't know. He showed flashes last week, especially as a punt returner and as a just go up and get it, wide receiver, throw it up to him. Tonight, I'm curious about what Ryan Day's going to do. And Corey, I want your thoughts on this because this is a first time for a lot of our players, a lot of our offensive line, a lot of our, these skill guys like Justin Fields and Garrett Wilson. Some of these young guys haven't been in this atmosphere yet, and I'm not sure I want to put true freshman Garrett Wilson with his heels on the 10-yard line waiting to field a punt in the rain. That's where I say just put KJ Hill back there, just fair catch it, get our offense safely on the field. Can't be turning the ball over. But I don't know if you want to put those young guys in those situations, They got to get their experience, but what do you think? You think they just throw these guys to the fire?
It's all situational at the sea, but you got to see what these kids are made of. To me, listen, you're going to learn sometime. Now, I know you can learn against the Miami of Ohio and all that, but it's big games. You win or you go home. Now, if you mess up, you don't get back on the field. Just like Urban used to do with that team up north. You fumble one time, it's a wrap for you. You ain't playing for the rest of the game. But I wouldn't mind seeing Garrett Wilson back there. If it's raining, let's see what he's made of. Let's see what he can do. Bright lights. I'm not gonna baby you just because we're playing against Nebraska at night. Let's see what he can do. Let's see. Listen, he showed me last week. Hey, the boy's a baller. You know, I like talented people on the field. I can see putting, KJ Hill just to, I understand the point, but I want to see what you're made of when it really counts. Do you have what it takes? So I'm all out for putting them out there, but that's just me.
Hey, I understand it. I mean, you recruit these guys to make big time plays, and that's how that goes a long way in recruiting too. I mean, if you're one of the best players on the field, but you're a freshman, put them on there. You saw what Clemson did last year. They benched their senior quarterback for a true freshman. They had like 2 freshman wide receivers and a sophomore wide receiver all starting in the national championship game, balling out on the biggest stage possible, making plays. So I see where you're coming from. And yeah, I agree with you. It's situational because if it's early and the crowd's going apeshit and it's raining and Nebraska's at like the 50-yard line with 10 yards to go and they're going to punt, I don't know if you put Garrett Wilson out there. I'm not sure that I would, but I understand the mentality of, hey, you're here for a reason, go make plays. It's just all situational. If we're up 14, maybe we will put him in. If it's for our first possession of the game, I think he puts KJ Hill back there, calls the fair catch, just get our offense going, get those few first scripted plays out of there, and settle into the ball game. I'm seeing a lot of comments here on the Facebook page. Brian says, I like the aggressiveness, 4th and 1. If you can't get a yard, you're not a championship team, as Urban Meyer always said. I do love that. How about to your point, Corey, the quarterback sneak that got like 5 yards last week? It's unbelievable. How about that? Kerry says, doing the run brings good luck. And my mom says, I think the young guys can be put in after they get settled down, just a little bit into the game. I think that's how Ryan Day is going to look at it, especially in this first big game of the season. We've got 4 big-time games in a row. And if they settle in a little bit in this game and then show out, then maybe next week against Michigan State, you throw them to the fire early on. Say, all right, here you go. But I think Ryan Day is going to be a little bit more careful about it. Yeah. But I don't know. He's aggressive, likes to go for it.
Why not? We'll see what we do.
All right, we've got like 7 minutes here. We'll get out of here, let you guys go watch Big Noon Kickoff and see Urban Meyer on TV because I'm not sure he'll be on TV for much longer. Let's get to some score predictions, bold predictions. Let's hear them in the comment sections, Facebook, YouTube. Once again, appreciate everybody for joining the show. In terms of bold predictions, Corey's going with the J.K. Dobbins night. It's all setting up perfectly for some J.K. Dobbins. And I think Ohio State makes big plays on special teams tonight. I do like the defense. A lot of people saying defensive turnovers, pick six, scoop and score. I like that idea, of course. Why wouldn't I? But one of my bold predictions I made on Tuesday was that somebody returns a kick for a touchdown, whether it's a kick or a punt. Nebraska's special teams are not very good, and our special teams have looked really, really good in the first 4 games. Got to give a lot of props to Matt Barnes, special teams coordinator. He's come in. We've blocked a kick in 3 straight games. So we could look for a blocked punt tonight, returned for 6, or I think Garrett Wilson or Demario McCall can return a punt for a touchdown if it's not raining. Put Demario McCall back for a kick return. I like that prediction. We've been really close. So that's what I'm going with today. I think Justin Fields will have a really big game too, but I think it's time. We haven't had a kick return for a touchdown since against the Wolverines in 2010. been almost 10 years since we've returned a kick for a touchdown, Corey.
Woo,
I think it might happen tonight.
All right. I'm seeing some coming in here. Scott Ewing says 45-14. Corey Shoemaker 45-17. Josh Robideau 52-24. I think Josh also said we helped him get through his workout today. Sweet. Hey, glad we could help. Dennis King says 49-17. And Scott Ewing, just breaking news. No kicker tonight for Nebraska. Dude. He said it's official. Whoa. Brian McGee, 42-17, and Laura BP says 45-17.
No kicker. We talked about it earlier in the show. That could cause some troubles, especially if, if they're inside the 25, inside the 30, and it's 4th and 8. You gotta go for it. I like our defense in that position, man. Pin your ears back, Chase Young, let it fly. Go make a statement on national television. People are gonna be watching tonight. People are gonna be watching Ohio State, Nebraska. I think in a couple years this is gonna be the best game of the conference. But right now, I don't think Nebraska has done enough. So Scott Frost was hired at UCF when they went 0-12. His first year they went 4-8. His second year they went 12-0. Now he leaves after going 12-0, takes over for a pretty crappy Nebraska team. Last year they go 4-8. So people were thinking, hey, second year Scott Frost, Adrian Martinez, look out. They haven't been that good as they were hyped up to be in the offseason. Especially that defense is just brutal. Their defense sucks. They turn the ball over a lot on offense. Ohio State should, and I don't have any concern about this being a trap game, Corey. I don't know about you, but Ohio State should roll tonight, and I don't think they're overlooking this team.
No, I don't see a primetime game ever being a trap game. I mean, if you have a primetime game, it's a trap game. Something's wrong with you. Oh, we play under the lights. Oh, well, let's yawn. Who cares? No primetime game should be a trap game. The Perfect 10 says bold prediction. JK runs for 200 and he has 49-21. We're about to wrap it up here. My bold, we already know I said J.K. Dobbins, 173, a couple touchdowns. I'm going to alter my score due to the no kicker information. That changes everything for me. So the 3 points is out of the question. You can't get 3. You just can't. It can't happen unless there's a new rule, unless they throw it through the uprights and they say, yeah, well, your quarterback can throw it and it counts. What? Okay. So that can't happen. So I'm going to go 45-18. I'm switching it to 45-18. So what does that mean? They have 3 touchdowns and they fail on every 2-point conversion. 45-18. Buckeyes. That's my prediction.
I dig it. I'm gonna stick with my original one. So I gave 2. I wrote one down for the show on Tuesday and then gave a different score prediction when it was my turn. Sticking with one of those, I'm going 42-20. I think they get one of those 2 points, 2-point conversions, Corey. 42-20. It might be close in the first half. Buckeyes pull away. Clearly the more talented team. Could be 49-20 for all I know. But tough environment. First time for a lot of these guys, especially Justin Fields. So we'll see what's going to happen, but I got 42-20. I think Fields has a big game, 5 touchdowns, and I think we score our 6th on a kick or punt return. So,
all right.
I guess we'll find out, folks. Get a few last comments here in. Carrie thinks it's, she said 53-24 or 50-24. Whatever it is, it'll be more points for Ohio State. I agree with that. David Hempel says Young sacks Martinez in the end zone tonight and gets a touchdown as Martinez loses the ball. Oh my God. I would love that. Talk about a statement moment on national television. Scoop and score in the end zone for Chase Young.
Yeah.
I could
He
see
should
it.
have he already should have a touchdown. He dropped that pick, but that's okay.
That's true. And just to wrap it up, Laura says she's in enemy territory today. Too many Huskers around. Fight the good fight for us. And Ed Plott's watching from Bryant, Arkansas. Ed, also in enemy territory down in the SEC. He says go Bucks. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Everybody on YouTube, Perfect 10 Sports Show, helping us with the show today. We'll be back at some point. We're trying to get some stuff figured out. But I'm sure we'll be back with a live show. If not this weekend, probably on Tuesday. But that's going to do it. Enjoy the game tonight, folks. Okay? 7:30 on ABC. Don't miss it. For Corey Boyd, I'm Jake Smith. Thanks for tuning in. Signing off saying go Bucks and OH.